Hello and welcome back to this course. Today we are going to discuss about the interface. In our previous video we have discussed about the interface, and now in this video we will get into more detail about the interface. Now these are some important points that we have to follow while using the interface. In our previous video we have also discussed about some important points, but these are some others also. So a class can implement more than one interface at a time. We know that in inheritance we can only extend one class at a time, but while using the interface we can implement more than one interface in the class. A class can extend only one class but implements many interfaces. Same thing, that we cannot extend more than one class, but we can implement more than one interface in a class. An interface can extend another interface. In a similar way, a class can extend another class. We can also apply the inheritance to the interface. One interface can extend another interface as we do in our classes. So these are some important points you have to understand also while using the interface. Now you may got a question in your mind that why we are using the interface. I will give you an example so that you have better understanding about the interface. Look at this. Above rectangle box, this is the interface. The name of the interface is registration. Now whenever a student go to university to take the admission, then that student must get a roll number, student card and its section. These are the three things that every student in the university get. Now that student may be a BS student, MS student or PhD student. All the students must have these three things. Now what we will do, we create an interface with the name registration, and that interface have student roll number, student card and student section. BS, MS and PhD are the three classes, and all these classes have to implement their registration, and when they implement the registration they have to provide the definition of the three abstract methods. And we know that the definition of these methods is different for the different classes. For example, in BS a student have a different roll number, different student card and different section. In MS a student have a different roll number, different card and different section. Every class can define the method by its own way. So you can see that how interface is helpful in Java. We have created the interface and the all classes using that interface and using all its methods. So I hope you understand how interface is used and why we use interface and how it is helpful for us. So let's create this student program in our NetBeans so that we have better understanding of how interface is used. And also this time we use two interfaces and we extend one interface with another, just for example to have a better understanding. So let's go to the NetBeans and discuss about it. Now for example, I am going to create an interface here. I type here interface. Interface you can say reg1, and in this interface I type here void student roll number. Yeah, definitely I can create all these three methods in this interface, but to show you that we can also inherit the interface, I am going to create another interface station. I type here interface registration that extends the reg1. In this way we can also extend our interface. Now I am going to type other two methods. I type here void student card and void student section. Okay, so now we have two interfaces. We have the second interface is the child of the first. Now I am going to create a class here with the name BS. I type here class BS that implements. Now you can also implement more than one interface. We have discussed about it in our slides. I type here reg1 and registration like this. But the registration is the child of the reg1. So I am going to remove this because student roll number is inherited to the registration automatically when we extend the other interface. Now in this body of this class I am going to override all these methods. Now keep in your mind we have only implements the registration interface. Now the student roll number is automatically moved to registration through the inheritance. We know that, so that's why we have to define the definition of all these three methods. So I type here at override, and you can say void student roll number. I type here system dot out dot println, and I type here just bs1 for an instance, and this method should be public. We know that the methods in the interface are public by default, so I type here public. Okay, now I'm going to override this second method. I type here override public void student card, and in the body again I'm going to type a single statement like this, print ln bs student card, just for an example. And the last one was public void student section. I type here system dot out dot println. I type here bs section A. Okay, so now the bs class implements registration, and we have override all the three methods that are necessary for every student to have: student roll number, student card, and student section. Now I am going to copy this class and paste it here. For the ms, I change here ms, and ms. Okay, I paste it once again for the PhD students. I type here PhD and PhD, at last PhD. Okay, so basically we have two interfaces. The one is RAG1 and the second is registration. We can definitely create all these methods in one interface, but to show you about the inheritance in interface, I have created the two interfaces so that we better understand how we can extend the interface. So we have three methods: student roll number, student card, and student section. And we implement registration. We know that the student roll number is automatically inherited to the registration. So we have to override the three methods: student roll number, student card, and student section, which is compulsory for every student to have in a university. And we have provided a different definition for the different classes, like BS have its own definition, MS has its own definition, and PhD has its own definition. Now if I go to my main function, I'm going to create the objects of all these classes. Then I type here BS equal to new BS, and BS dot student card, BS dot student roll number, and BS dot student section. Okay, then MS equals to new MS, and then copy all the methods from here and paste it here and change it to MS. Then again PhD equals to new PhD, and paste all the methods here. Just change the PhD and PhD. Okay, so now if I run this program, you will see BS student card, BS1, and BS section A, MS student card, MS1, and MS section A, PhD student card, PhD1, and PhD section A. So in this way we can use the interface in Java, and we see that how interface is helpful in Java. I hope you understand about the interface. Now also you have to keep all these points that we have discussed in the slide in your mind while using the interface. So if you feel any problem while learning the interface, you can definitely ask me a question. I will definitely help you. So that's it for this video. I will see you in next video.